Good morning, I'm Callum Rodia here in the Sudbury.com newsroom, and in just a moment we will take you live to the main branch of the Sudbury Public Library, where Friends of Sudbury Hospital laundry workers are holding a press conference. They say that through a Freedom of Information request, these concerned citizens have received documents that show that Sudbury Hospital Services board members appear to have acted not in the best interests of the organization. They claim that Health Sciences North has held a strategy of misleading the public by downplaying their control of Sudbury Hospital Services. They plan to reveal their findings at this morning's press conference. We also know that Ward 2 Councillor Michael Vagnini will be there. Stay with us as we take you live to the Sudbury Public Library main branch.
So Tom, they are keeping the warewash there until such further notice.
Yeah.
So, other than turning the washer off, everything is status quo inside. Okay.
Okay, we're going to get started. Is everyone who with their technology, are you all good to go? Would I take your silence as a yes? Okay. Excellent. Well, thank you all very much for coming on such short notice. We really do see this as an emergency and a crisis in our community, and we're really thrilled to have this kind of response on the community level. My name is Beth Mears, and I founded a grassroots response for much of the concern that was out there in the community, and we have a sort of a banner organization called Friends of the Sudbury Hospital Laundry Workers. We're 1,600 members on social media, and that's who's called this media conference today. So who is here? So I'm here, and I'd like to share some of my concerns and perspective on what has happened thus far and move towards positive solutions. As well, we're going to be hearing today from Mathieu Labonte, who is also a member of the Friends group and has really been digging into the issue, and he has some very innovative ideas on how to move forward. As well, Michael Vagnini, who has really taken a leadership role within City Council to find a community solution to the laundry issue and the potential loss of jobs. We have serious concerns and questions, and our purpose today really is to attempt in the 11th hour to reverse a harmful decision and to be proactive in recommending actions towards a positive solution and to resolve to keep the work in Sudbury as well as saving the laundry jobs and perhaps building additional jobs if this is done well. I had prepared a variety of things to say late last night before I went to bed, before I read the results of the Freedom of Information request, the documents that came in. So having reviewed them late last night, I'm actually going to speak off the cuff because I have a different reaction. I think it's illuminated a lot of questions and a lot of concerns. I have had concerns about the governance model at Sudbury Hospital Services. As you may or may not be aware, it is a not-for-profit corporation, and it is governed by a volunteer board of directors. What I think perhaps hasn't gotten out to the media, through the media clearly yet, is that the way the organization, its bylaws are set up, and the governance structure and its constitution indicates that there are 3 board members, and each of those board members holds a major executive paid position at Health Sciences North. In addition, and we have actually in your package, you'll see the bylaws. The Constitution was revamped in 2015. So we also learned that there is only one general member to this organization, and that is Health Sciences North. So that's a bit vague. I don't know if that means it's a member of the board. That's a bit confusing. But it means that you and I, without the approval of the board, could not join this organization. It means we could not go to an annual general meeting and voice our concerns. They have created an organization that is, although it is a not-for-profit, and it should be governed by the Ontario laws that regulate not-for-profit organizations. It's very hard for us as citizens to penetrate that organization to air concerns. And that brings me to the Not-for-Profit Corporation Act of 2010. We'll get back to that later because I'd like to review some of the conditions of the Not-for-Profit Corporations Act in Ontario as it relates to some of the information that has come forward just 2 days ago through the request for information. So if you have this document, which was just released, I should say it's unfortunate it took a request through Freedom of Information rather than taking 30 days. It took 3 months for this to be released. There were various delays, but we've just gotten a hold of this yesterday. So if you go into Record 1, which is a document which would have been presented to the Board of Directors of Health Sciences North, and this is clearly a recommendation on the part of 3 senior executives to change laundry service providers. They spell out in this document the pros and cons, and the purpose of this is to review the potential change in operations and costs. This was presented in the fall, but also within the documents we see that there was research being done and outreach to Mohawk during the summer. What is very concerning to me, and this is not a legal opinion, I just have questions as a concerned citizen with a little bit of information and understanding of the not-for-profit sector. We have 3 individuals, Pilon, St. George, and Turini, who are senior executives of Health Science North, who are leading the board to a conclusion to stop the bleed, their quotes from this document, and to change to another service provider to save money. What is very important for people to understand that those same 3 individuals that I have named making these recommendations are the board of directors of Sudbury Hospital Services. Now, according to, this is where I'd like to go back to the act that was brought in 2010 as law in Ontario. The purpose of the board of directors, their responsibility, they have a statutory duty of care for directors, which requires them to act honestly and in good faith with a view to the best interests of the corporation. Those 3 individuals are meant to act in the best interests of Sudbury Hospital Services. That is their duty. If the members of this organization feel that that duty is not being held, they can at an annual general meeting, they have provisions under this act to ask them to resign. However, as I mentioned, this organization is so impenetrable, it's very hard for us to do that. In addition, you'll notice from the bylaw document that I've circulated that Sudbury Hospital Services, in fact, had no annual general meetings from 2007 right up until 2015. Well after the hospitals had amalgamated and there was just Health Sciences North as the primary client. That's not illegal, but it does speak to perhaps or suggest a pattern of not being on top of the governance responsibilities that are so important in steering a not-for-profit organization in our community to maintain its sustainability over the long term. So if we go back to Record 1, again we see, I want to point out that the 3 senior executives are recommending to the board of directors to basically dump Sudbury Hospital Services. And one of the things, the pros that they refer to here is that if they do this now, they will save money because the severance will only get higher. Again, I don't see that really serving the best interests of the organizations or the workers who are doing the frontline work. In fact, from speaking to someone at one of the laundry workers, I understand that with this proposed layoff, one worker will be 23 days short of receiving her retirement package, and that has been denied. So the 3 board members are recommending to Health Sciences North to dump the company to save money. I really don't feel as a citizen this is acting in the best interest of the organization. They also talk about a con being the public image, and then we see what their public relations strategy is, which also makes a lot of sense. We see that Dan Lessard is being pulled in behind the scenes, and that the strategy discussed is that Health Sciences North should keep itself distant. If they're approached, they should focus on the price of laundry and the need for savings for direct patient care. And then they're given a figure to quote. We have seen time and time again that spokespeople for Health Sciences North, and this includes one of the board directors that I'm referring to, has obfuscated the reality of what the relationship is. They'll say time and again, we are not the owners, we are simply a client. But what's not clear is they control this organization. So they've been misleading on purpose to create a distance. And I'm sorry, it hasn't worked. We're on to this. Then if we go into record 4, you will see that back in the summer, one of the board of directors, a major executive at Health Sciences North, but a board of directors of the hospital services is reaching out to the other board of directors to say that he has received a quote from Mohawk and what the proposed savings is. Then in record 5, we see that using Health Sciences North letterhead plus his position at Health Sciences North, Patrick Torini puts the manager at Sudbury Hospital Services on notice that Health Sciences North is actively exploring other laundry providers. I hope that you're not getting too confused, because it is confusing, but there is a mismatching of roles here. People who are supposed to be protecting Sudbury Hospital Services are acting on behalf of the organization that provides their paycheck. The reason this is a problem in Ontario is that this may constitute a conflict of interest. And again, I can't give a legal opinion, but I think on the basis of just a basic view, if we look at the Not-for-Profit Corporations Act, we see that that a conflict of interest provides members with actions that they can take if they believe the directors are not acting in the best interest of the organization. Is this a conflict of interest? Perhaps we need some lawyers to look at this, because I think we see many, many instances in which this board of directors has not been supporting the organization. And perhaps it's conflictual for them to do so because of where they get their paycheck. And record 7, this is a very interesting communication from back in June between Colin Lyons, who is the general manager down at Mohawk Shared Services, and it's sent to Patrick Torini. This shows that there is Mohawk is claiming that if Health Sciences North switches, that there will be a savings of $400,000 a year. The reason this is problematic to me is that if Health Sciences North and Patrick Torini were simply representing, if they were simply and exclusively a client, fair enough that they would go to a competitor and say, this is what we currently pay for laundry services, can you do better? And the other organization comes back and says, yes, we can save you $400,000. But why in heaven's name would a director who is meant to be protecting the best interests of the family at the laundry share that information? It's very undermining, and again, it calls into question whether the board of directors were doing their job. Secondly, we see in this record 7 that Colin Lyons indicates, he refers to a previous conversation with Patrick, where they're willing to pony up $20,000 towards a consultant report to provide evidence, basically, of a decision that's already been made between them of switching. How unbiased do we think that report would be that Mohawk is paying for to prove that Mohawk is a better choice for Sudbury Hospital Services? There's a lot that's been going on behind the scenes, and I'm so glad that it's out in the open. Okay, so I could go on and on, but I have spoken for quite some time. I wanted to put that context out there because, as I say, desperate times call for desperate measures. There's so much support and there's so many innovative ideas to keep the jobs here, and I think now there's a lot of questions about the legitimacy and the process by which these decisions were made. And although we cannot ask a board of directors to resign, because we can't join this organization, we can, I think, as a community, question the context in which the decisions are being made. Thank you.
My name is Matthew Labonte. I'm a concerned citizen, and I'd like to talk to you today about the actual costs and whether or not there are savings. But per the Freedom of Information request, well, this is what they look like. And the hospital cited that it was an issue with competitive or privileged information regarding competitiveness. You can see there, it's pretty blanked out. And so they refused to give out the actual price per kilogram of the laundry being done by Mohawk. The problem with that is, I have it right here for the EMS. The information's already out there. And so I gotta ask, like, that's generally been the attitude from the hospital, is whenever someone's asked, is they're being told, we can't tell you. There are savings we can't show you. And that's really a problem because at the end it's our tax dollars. I mean, Sudbury Hospital Services is a non-share, not-for-profit corporation the hospital controls. It's tax dollars in, tax dollars out, and it's employees being paid with our money. Same thing goes for Mohawk Shared Services. They're not competitive private companies that have some sort of secret, and it doesn't help the healthcare system in general to hide any of these prices. And so seeing what they have here, as well as reading through the report from the city regarding the economic impact, it appears to me that the difference in cost is really due to the fact that Sudbury Hospital Services has increasing capital costs because they're aging equipment. They need to replace it. But once it's replaced, it's done. Given the structure of Sudbury Hospital Services, they just charge the hospital what it costs them. And so it's going to increase the cost for the next couple of years, but then the potential savings over the long term could be more. And in fact, the workers themselves are saying that they can beat whatever Mohawk is charging. It's just they haven't been given the opportunity to. The fact is that the board of directors is all Health Sciences North staff. All the corporate officers are Health Sciences North staff. The first person who's independent at all is the general manager, and they answer to the hospital staff. And so really what's happening is the hospital on the one hand is saying, well, when it's convenient for them, well, we want to dump them. And suddenly they're not with us. You know, they're not our friends. They're not hanging out with us. We don't even know them. Meanwhile, they're going around telling them exactly what to do. And I think it's not only is it unfair, the fact is that the hospital could be missing out on savings that could be put into better patient care or keeping other nurses, doctors, etc. here in Sudbury. And the fact that they're going around and saying, well, we're going to pit them against each other by claiming if we don't get these savings, we have to cut somewhere else, when in fact they can get these savings and not cut. They just don't appear to have looked, and they haven't talked to the city and worked to find a solution that could not only keep the jobs here, create savings for the hospital, create additional savings in terms of co-heating the memorial site, which they used to do and now they don't, and save these jobs at the same time. I really have to ask if the board can come forward and actually sit down with everyone else, with all the players, and find a solution. And so that's really what I'm here for and what everyone else is here for. We're not here just for, jobs for the sake of jobs if it's going to cost the taxpayer money. But the fact is, I think there's a solid case that not only could they save the money by keeping it here, but that there are additional benefits, and Councillor Vagnini is going to talk to that. And so I would really ask the board to, if they can, delay switching over, and let's have an open discussion, and none of this hiding behind whatever regulation or exemption they're given. Thank you.
Thank you. So it was brought forward to me back in probably about the beginning of December, and as a municipal councillor, and I've been told that this is a provincial matter and I shouldn't be involved as a municipal councillor. But when one constituent loses a job here in Sudbury, it's not only a provincial matter, a municipal matter, it's a federal matter. The economic impact to the greater city of Sudbury is approximately $7 million. $7 million. We're talking about trying to bring new business into the city, and here we have an economic impact for the community of $7 million. I've talked with Wendy Watson, who is part of our GSDC, and they want to explore the opportunity of possibly bringing a hub into Sudbury, representing northeastern Ontario. And this could possibly, and today I don't know what that looks like, but it's an opportunity that we should be exploring before we let these people go somewhere else. We brought a petition in with over 6,900 signatures, signifying this is a community thing that is going on right now, and there are a lot of unanswered questions. I can't confirm this, but I was told that there are what they call surge days. Surge days are when there's so much laundry that they have to bring an extra truck out. Sometimes those surge days go to 2.5 trucks. Again, I've been told I do not have this information confirmed, but it is something that needs to be looked at. I've also been told that the washer that they have there has a motor in it, has belts in it, has paddles in it. There's nothing in there that can't be repaired. So if there was a catastrophic event, we have the companies and organizations with here actually in the Walden Industrial Park that can fix that and have it up and running. So right now, the warewash continues to be serviced out of the Sudbury Hospital Services. So what I'm doing is for the next council meeting, I'm bringing forward a motion that we examine what opportunities that we can have here as a hub. Thank you.
Are there
Any questions?
Yeah, questions. Can we do one-on-one?
Are you doing strong form or? Okay.
Whatever
Sure.
works for you guys.
Yeah.
There's no agenda. This is an open forum, whatever everybody would like to do.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay,
Now-
good.
So everybody stop. Okay, one thing, just want to let you all know that on March 16th, Thursday night, at the Tom Davies Arena, we are going to have another fire optimization and talking about where we're going. I don't know if anybody's been following it, but the last one we had in Lively, the Kinsman Hall, they had to turn away over 200 people. And it turned into a bit of a kerfluffle. How's that for a good word? So what I am asking is for all of media to have the opportunity, if you can, to show up on Thursday, March 16th at 6:30 at the Tom Davies Arena. Thank you. I just had to bring that out. That was my
Yeah.
sidebar. My paid commercial.
Just scrum over here. Thank you.
Well, because she,
Yeah.
with the, that's our Greater Sudbury Development Corporation, and they will study with our economic department, Ian Wood, and our economic department study what it looks like. So the one study that came out that talked about
Scrum over here. Just
by losing those 6 the economic activity impact, just losing those 6 customers and 42 jobs, $47 million. That was done by our economic development group. And so now I want.
Angela, you guys want to move over?
What is a possibility?
Free for all.
You have just a trying to invite Sophie.
Were we, you doing Beth out there?
Oh, they're doing that. I can't move, so I have to.
Yeah, I know.
So, Counselor? Yeah.
Sure. Parce que la plupart des causes
Basically what we were just talking about, I think, is what,
Okay. Yes, so sorry, just to clarify on the hub. What a hub would be a laundry service for northeastern Ontario. And what that could entail is, thank you, what that could entail is the possibilities of, maybe Pioneer Manor, Extended Care, who are doing their own laundry services today, but let's bring it all inside and see what it looks like. When you look at the costing for what the Sudbury Hospital Services was, it was not really out of line. And there are studies that have been done, and the last one was in 2013 by the American Laundry study. And what that study came up with, there's over 400 laundry services across 24 countries. And we were on the low end with the on costing with the Sudbury Hospital Services. So I think that's where the opportunity to explore what a hub looks like. And our GSDC, along with our economic development, I don't know what it looks like today, but what could it possibly be? We've got to think outside the 9 dots and do things a lot differently than what we've done in the past. And what I mean by that is when we look directly at $7 million in the economic activity that we're losing, we're trying to bring new development in the community. Let's not lose what we have right now.
And you talked about you're going to be bringing at the next council meeting opportunities. Could you explain that?
Sorry, what I meant by that is I'm bringing a motion forward so that we will explore the opportunities through Wendy Watson and her group, and she is the chair for the GSDC, and with our economic development group, headed up by Mr. Wood, and what they can do or what the possibilities may look like. So right now, the warewash is still there. The plant hasn't closed. And there is an opportunity where maybe we could resurrect it in 3 months' time. And again, not sure what it looks like, but there is that opportunity.
And would that be, being the hub, more laundry than just what the hospital creates?
Could be, yes. Yes, it could be. It could be from our hospital, it could be other services throughout northeastern Ontario. All I want to do is let's turn every stone over possible before we close the door on the final chapter. And that's what I'm looking for.
so Sudbury Hospital Services is closing March 13th.
Correct. Yes. The warewash is still going through at this time. So warewash is like the dishes, the cutlery, and things of that nature. So the lights aren't being shut on when they close the door. It's still going to continue to operate. So
That's just the last day that they're shipping laundry.
correct. Yes. And the other big thing too is, as I alluded to earlier, if that laundry washer was to break down, it's not that it's going to blow up and there won't be an opportunity to repair it. We could repair whatever happens in there. I've been told. I've got to qualify that. I've been told we could repair that locally. Thank you.
You talked about a surge. Could you explain what that is and how it would affect the laundry services?
So they, in the report, they said they're having one truck that goes down a day. When they have a surge in laundry, it means there's so much laundry that it doesn't all fit on one truck and they need a second truck. And when those surges happen, now we're going to have not just one truck running down the road, we're going to have 2 trucks running down the road. So the costing, again, is applicable. It becomes double.
And just to reiterate, you said this is a provincial issue. Why is it so important to you as a municipal council?
Councillor, because it's people here in our community that are possibly losing their homes, because we have single mothers that work there, that have a mortgage, that have a house, and it's going to be a direct effect on the people here. Anytime somebody's paycheck is turned down or mixed up, everybody in the community should stop, not just at a provincial level, not at a municipal level, but at a federal level.
And in terms of your hub, you haven't done any costing on what that would cost the city?
No, that is, and it could be a partnership. It could be outside the city. It could be something within grants, FedNor, whatever the case may be. No, that is what the motion coming forward at the next council meeting is for, is to look at those opportunities.
How optimistic are you that your motion's going to be approved, put forward?
I believe that we have the opportunity as a community to do everything that we can. So I'm excited at the fact of bringing the motion together, simply because of the fact I think I'm always optimistic, and I always think that we're going to do the right thing for the people in the community. All right.
High, that's like the triple chin becomes a double chin. It's awesome. Angela, we're not going to talk. Sorry. I know. No problem. Okay.
So just, I guess, start off with your name and just tell us what today's all about.
Sure. My name is Beth Mears. I'm with the Friends of the Sudbury Hospital Laundry Workers, a community organization that has come together in a grassroots way in pulling together the supporters of the laundry workers and the opposition to this decision to outsource the jobs.
You say this is the like 11th hour effort.
Yes.
Do you have any ideas whether or not this is going to take any effect?
Yes, I would hope so. I mean, one of the positions of Health Science North that I've seen them put forward is that, leadership sometimes means making difficult decisions, even if they're unpopular. I would agree. I would agree with that, but I don't see this decision that they've made as having that level of integrity. I think it also takes a very big person to admit that they've made a mistake and to reverse a decision. And I think in light of the overwhelming disapproval of Sudburyans of this decision, the hardship that's going to be caused unnecessarily, and I think today, now that we have access to the Freedom of Information internal documents that Health Sciences North did not want released, I think it's calling into question the integrity to some degree of the board of directors of Sudbury Hospital Services, who get a paycheck from Health Sciences North. They're among the top executives. So have they been in a classic conflict of interest situation? Have they been able to act as a board of directors whose responsibility, according to the law, is to act in the best interest of the organization, in this case, the Sudbury Laundry? And it appears as though they're the ones leading the charge to wind the organization down, and so I think calling that into question is another reason for Health Sciences North to reconsider this decision.
When did you begin the process for for your information? How long did it take to get it? And are you were you surprised by what was contained in that information?
Right. Well, actually, the request was put in by France Gillinas, and the health critic for the NDP. She submitted this request back in December, and I think as a member of the media, you would know that typically there's supposed to be a response within 30 days. This has been delayed for 3 months, right into the same month as the jobs were meant to end, and a lot of financial information isn't there. But what is there, I think, is showing a pattern and proof positive that the three executives of Health Science North, who are charged with the responsibility to take care of the Sudbury Laundry, are the ones who have been working against that aim, and as well that Health Sciences North has had a very specific game plan to work against public opposition, to try to distance themselves from the laundry, suggesting over and over again that they are simply a client. And I think that these documents, and just the mere knowledge of looking at the bylaws and constitution of this organization, show you just how closely they're linked. Yes, they're not the owner, because it's not a private organization, but they completely control it. And they had a responsibility, and they had the opportunity years ago to ensure the sustainability of this this local business for years to come. It appears they didn't take those steps. They didn't even have board meetings, or annual general meetings. So I find it very, very difficult. In fact, I feel I feel quite indignant on behalf of the workers that they would be bearing the brunt of what appears to be poor governance over a number of years, that it didn't have to come to this. And I think we can still turn it around. I really do. I want to believe the Health Sciences North Board will look at the public opposition, will reconsider, and that we can keep these jobs and we can build new jobs in Sudbury.
Your group has about 1,600 people supporting it on social media, correct?
Yes.
Why do you believe that there's such a strong response to this issue?
I'm not really sure why. I'm not really sure. I think it's about the laundry workers themselves, that many people recognize that this is not glamorous work. If you've ever worked in a laundry, or if you work in a hospital setting, you know that there's a hierarchy, and people who work in the laundry are really kind of at the low end of the spectrum. And doing one, it's a essential service, but it's not a high status job. And yet these are jobs that the workers want. They very much want these jobs, and And as I say, it's not glamorous work. It doesn't necessarily pay that well. And so under those circumstances, and I think perhaps the age of the workers as well, that many are, women in their 50s, and it may be difficult for them to find other employment. And people recognize that women in their 50s are often holding 3 generations together, of their families. So it's kind of, I think it's touched kind of a heart's, kind of a heartbeat in a sense of Sudbury, that, no matter what they say, this is going to save money, this is going to, we'll put this into patient care. No one's buying the arguments. Everyone still seems to be very much behind the workers.
Excellent. Is there anything else like that?
No. I'm just thrilled to finally be interviewed by you. Oh! No way. Oh, live. We're live.
And then, so we're just a little bit about your history with Sudbury Hospital Services. And
Do
then,
you want me to spell my name again?
no,
Okay.
it's fine. And then, so just, did you ever hear you saying that today's your last day? But the 13th is the last day for Sudbury Hospital Services.
Today's my last day, and the reason for that is because I'm on holidays.
Oh, okay, I see.
So it's not really my last day, because I can always come in on my holidays if I feel, I don't know, bored.
Yeah. If you're going to feel bored on your holidays.
You really don't know me.
Okay. Gotta be doing something, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so we'll just start with we'll get your name and then how long you've been working at Sudbury Hospital Services, and then what's the general feeling right now? I guess there's only a few days left before I guess the last shipment goes to the hospital, and then and we'll go from there.
My name is Lucy St. Louis. I've been there at Sudbury Hospital Services for 30 years plus. Just about 31 years. The feeling in the plant right now is it's surreal. Everybody's starting to feel it. Everybody's starting to. It's some of the people's last days, so they're starting to feel the effect. They're feeling the anger, the sadness. They're not going to see their friends and family because we've been together for 30 plus years. Yeah, and to see and to know what we've heard today. I'm a little upset, just a little bit upset, feeling the betrayal with the hospital of what they've done to us.
And in the past, it's been known that the hospital is treating the Sudbury Hospital Services people like anybody else who would be applying for a job, so you guys don't get any special kind of status when it comes to applying for a job at the hospital?
Yes. What my understanding is that if we want a job at the hospital, which we've always been considered part of the hospital, we have to apply just like anyone else on the streets.
So it's March 13th is the last shipment, correct?
No, the last shipment is March 24th. It has been up to the 24th because Mohawk is not ready for us. So after that, we have the 1 week that we're going to clean up. So we, as employees, we are there till the 31st of March.
And then what?
And then what? We are all going to go out and start a new life. We are going to find new jobs. I have a lot of confidence on all my girls that work there, not my girls, but all the girls, that they're all going to do fantastic. They will. We're all strong women. We will be able to get back on our feet and get out there.
Is there anything else that you would like to add at all?
I'm really hoping that they reconsider and help us out.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you for tuning in to that live broadcast. Head over to Sudbury.com for full coverage on this and all of today's top news stories. For Sudbury.com, I'm Callum Rodia.